Hello, my name's Colette. Today we're going to do practical divination, bibliomancy. Now, bibliomancy is the art of divination using books, and it's been around as long as books have been around. So it's a very ancient form of divination, and it comes under the divinatory term of sortelege, where you're allowing a randomness and a chaos to kind of open yourself up to consciousness, to your inner self, to God, to spirit, whatever you really want to call it. And I actually really like it. I did an experiment over 6 days a few years ago for a book I wrote, where I decided to use bibliomancy every day. Now, the first thing I did was I went to the books that were known for this in the past, which were the ancient texts, and the one that I wanted to use was the Bible, because it's still seen as one that you can refer to. Now, the ancient texts became a wee bit more sort of connected to this, and the more they became connected to this, the more it was seen as not the thing to do. So then the sacred texts became, no, you don't use them. And the modern day equivalent of this is actually like oracle cards, where you actually choose a card and then go to the book, and the book tells you what it is. Another ancient form of it is the I Ching, where you cast your little yarrow sticks and your coins, and then you go to a book and it tells you what to do. But for us now, it's a case of actually just finding a book and finding what it has to say. So in my experiment, I brought out the Bible, I brought out a book on Durga, the goddess, and I brought out also a book on animal totems. And just to make it more random, I actually brought out my own, one of my favourite novels of Myths and Bees. And just to sort of mash it up a wee bit and have some fun, we also accrued 50 Shades of Grey. Now, you'll think, well, that's odd. Why are you using that book? Well, it's a book. And what I wanted to see was, did the ancient texts or did the spiritual texts actually give better answers than normal books? And what I discovered was that actually the Bible was just too generic. The answer I got on that particular day for a question just, it was good, but it wasn't specific. And it was the same with the animal oracle cards, believe it or not. They actually were even less specific. I was quite disappointed in them. The Durga book was wonderful. And my actually own book, my novel, actually gave wonderful answers. But believe it or not, 50 Shades of Grey, the answer that came through that was one of the best ever. So a book's a book. Let's just use whatever comes to us. So the whole thing about bibliomancy is finding the book and making sure that if you have a sense of wanting connection, or you want to find out something, or you just want a thought for the day as such. And also I use music for it. I sometimes just turn on the radio and see what the lyrics are, or the song is, and sometimes it reminds me of someone I'm missing, or sometimes it gives me, a wee bit up the backside to go and do something. So that's a form of bibliomancy as well. Now, the thing is, when you are going to a book, if it's a book that's well used, you can't just allow it to fall open, because there will be sections of books, particularly if it's poetry or if it's something you like, that will actually fall open at the same page all the time. That doesn't bring in a randomness that we want and expect from this form of divination. So just don't let a book open. The way I do it is to gently hold my book, and I take a little pin and insert the pin and allow that to open the page, and I don't really look at it, and then I put the book flat and I put the pin with my eyes closed on part of the writing, and I either use the word, the sentence, the phrase, or the whole paragraph to connect me to consciousness. And it really works. It's absolutely fantastic. Sometimes you'll find in the course of the day that certain numbers keep coming up, and that's the other way of doing it, is finding a random number that you're attracted to, say 73. So you go to page 73 in a book, and maybe you look at the clock and it's at 13 minutes past, and you use the number 13. So the sort of pin in the book is a good way of doing it. I actually like a nail file, a silver nail file. It's actually quite good and it catches the pages. But anything sharp that you can insert between the pages of the book is good. Or use random numbers. Keep the randomness there. don't use the same book all the time. Don't use the same numbers all the time, or use the same numbers but change the books, or just generally go to the bookcase, pick a book and see what it shows you, or turn on the radio and hear what it says. And that basically is the psychic art. But try it, because when I have asked people to do this and they've thought, well, surely not, but it actually works. And I sometimes, if I'm a wee bit lower and I'm feeling like I need a wee bit of information that I don't necessarily want to go to my tarot for, I just want information then, there and then, grab a book, see what it says to me. So thank you and many blessings.